Hi guys, in this video we will see how can we serve our objects from the S3 to the internet. In the previous video we have seen that how to convert your application into the static files like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and we have uploaded in the objects in this object storage that AWS is provided called S3, and we have created an S3 bucket and we have uploaded all the contents of our application inside it. So in this video we will see how can we host these files to the internet. So let's see. Before CDN, we know that we are going to use CDNs, but let me tell you, without the CDN how can we host these website. Let's say a user is requesting your website, your this index.html from, let's say, another place. So it has to मतलब उसके पास आपकी बकेट का डायरेक्ट एक्सेस होना चाहिए. Means you are giving your full access to your bucket, then that user can access your index.html and can see it on the internet. Like if you go to this index.html and share your direct URL this to your another user, but this way is not correct, because then anyone can have access to your AWS bucket, and it can do anything malicious acts and can upload anything and can steal your data. So it's not the right thing to give access of your bucket, of your personal bucket, portfolio bucket, or anything. Let's say this is currently a portfolio website. Let's say you are uploading your assets like images, videos. So you don't want a unknown user can access your videos and images directly from the bucket. So you don't want that. Currently, if I try to copy and paste it on the browser, I see that access denied that we have given in the previous video. We have blocked all public. If I go to my, where's the permissions, sorry, in the bucket, come to bucket, go to the properties, not properties, let's say permissions. Yeah, we have blocked all public access, so nobody can access this bucket. And if I use this URL, this means s3.portfolio.aws.com/index.html. If I try to access this, I will get a response like access denied, that we have seen it like few seconds before. So instead of that, we use a CDN. What is CDN? First let's understand the full form. The content delivery network. As you can understand by the name itself, it is providing you the content to the users. So let's understand. CDN is nothing but a server that runs on edge locations on multiple continents. On nearest users there is an edge location. So we provide our S3 bucket objects as a source of truth to this CDN, and then the user can access the index.html from this CDN. So let's understand in deeper. Well, let's say this is our world map, and let me create, this is North America, this is South America, this is Antarctica, Australia, this is Asia, और कौन सा रहेगा, यूरोप एसी में आता है, and this is our India. No intention of drawing wrong map. Let's say this is our India, and this is the US. Or let's say we are taking an example of the portfolio web application. Let's say you applied for a job in the US, then this US recruiter checks your URL, means the US recruiter wants to see your portfolio. That portfolio objects contents are stored inside the bucket that is created in India. So this is our S3 bucket that is created in India, and the US recruiter wants to see the contents from this S3 bucket. So there is a very long distance between these two. So if the US tries, if this recruiter tries to access, how this will get served to the recruiter, it will go through the wires, long wires inside the ocean that are present. So it will add some latencies, and then give, then this US recruiter can access your portfolio. So if your portfolio or landing page taking time to load, so it does not leave a good impression. Instead of that, we use a CDN. For let's say there's a CDN inside the US. Now what this CDN does, we give the CDN a source of truth. For the current situation, the source of truth is S3. This US CDN takes this S3 as a source of truth. When the user requests, I want that index.html, the CDN will pick up the file from the S3 and caches it. What's the main advantage of CDN? It caches the files. It caches the files. Then this CDN will give this index.html, make a URL of it, and give it to the make a URL of this index.html. Then you can provide this URL to the US recruiter or anyone you want, because the CDN works with the edge locations. Like there are multiple CDNs on every continent. There's near you. in हमारे पास भी बहुत सारे CDNs हैं, ये ऐसा नहीं कि इंडिया में एक ही होगा, इंडिया में बहुत सारे होंगे. So there are multiple CDNs present in all over the world. Let's say these are the CDNs present. So for this current region, America, if the another company recruiter wants to see your portfolio, wants to see the index.html file, so it will directly see from the CDN, because it caches it, because the first recruiter already requested, and the CDN caches it, and every time the new user wants to request the same index.html, the CDN returns the cached file. It's that simple. So that's the basic CDN definition. If you are, आपको अगर एक क्वेश्चन दिमाग में आ रहा हो, if you came up with a question in mind, why can't we serve our backend as a on CDN server? Because let's say this is a CDN server and this is your backend server. Let's say this is our backend, this is your CDN server. Let's say this is a user 1, user 2, user 3. Let's say it is a to do application. Every user have their own unique to dos, own personal to dos. No sharing between the to dos between these users. So if the user 1 asks their to dos, so it will give the ID कि इस ID के to do दे दो. Currently it is not present inside the CDN. So it will ask from the backend. The backend will give the to dos to the CDN. It caches it with the ID 1 and give it to the user with the ID 1. If the ID 2 user wants their to dos, his to dos, so the CDN will return the same to dos. मतलब वो रिटर्न नहीं करेगा, बट द CDN का फ़ायदा क्या है? It caches the to dos. So when this user with ID2 requests the to dos, so first CDN checks there is no to do present with ID2, so it will again ask the backend. Then every user, it will ask the backend to give their to dos. So we don't need to add a cache layer between them, cache server. It just what it makes the cost high. CDN works as an hour request कि जितनी hours bandwidth होंगी, जितने users visits this CDN, the charge will go up. So why to add this service? बेफालतू का charge लगेगा. So no use of it. So that's why we don't store the backends in the CDN server. So we have already understand what are CDNs. अगर आपको एक बात समझ नहीं आया so let me understand in a simpler and clean way. Let's say this is your S3 bucket in India, S3. This is your, or let's say this is Antarctica, and a penguin is requesting your portfolio. So what this penguin will do, we will create a CDN distribution. So this CDN, the nearest penguin nearest CDN will request these S3 contents as the source of truth. then gets your index.html, and the CDN will provide an URL, and we will give this URL to this penguin. Then every other penguin in the region can see your portfolio, your index.html, without contacting your S3 bucket. They just have to request to the CDN, as CDN already has caches your index.html, and it will directly returns you the index.html. That's the simpler definition of the CDN. So for the CDN, let's we will use the AWS CloudFront. It's the popular one. You can use any CDN provider जिससे आपको कॉस्ट बढ़िया पड़ रही हो वो लो. I am using the AWS tools, so I will use the CDN. There are many tools that works with the S3 bucket also, so don't need to create नई CloudFront में काम करें. This can work on any CDN that works with S3. It's good. It depends on you. So I will use the CloudFront. So we have already stored our, let me see my audio. We have already stored the content of our portfolio app into this S3 bucket. Now we have to create a CDN, a CloudFront distribution, as in this S3 bucket as in source of truth. So the CDN URL where to get the contents from this S3 bucket as a source of truth. So go to the search and write CloudFront. It's the global content delivery network. Go to the CloudFront. Go to the create distribution. Give your distribution a name, portfolio YT, single website or app, domain name. We are not using Route 53. Next, what's our source of truth? Our origin tab, the S3. Choose your source of truth, means your bucket. Portfolio IT as the source of truth. We have the path in bucket, in which path your the content have. So we have in S3 we have, let me go to my portfolio IT. We have stored the out folder contents into the S3, not the out folder. So we will leave this empty because in the root of the S3 bucket our contents is present, our index.html is present. If you paste your out folder directly, so you have to give right out slash sorry out, yeah, we don't have to give the path currently. Now the settings allow private S3 buckets access to CloudFront, that we have to give check, because अगर हम CloudFront को ही अपनी bucket का access नहीं देखें, so how can it pull our contents from the S3? So we have to give access to the CloudFront. So tick that. What this will do, it will automatically generate the policy inside the S3 bucket. We will see enable security program protections, yes, recommended hai, take next, review and create origin path, yes, the source of truth our S3 bucket, okay, create distribution. It will start creating distributions. It will take some time, around 5 to 10 minutes, maximum 5 minutes or so. We have to change one thing here also. Go to the general. Currently there is no default root objects. What do you mean by default root objects? Go to my bucket. Sorry, I go to my bucket, go to the portfolio IT. It is saying कि आपका default object कौन सा होना चाहिए. When you load this URL, so what the default thing you have to see on the home page? We have to see the index.html, right? This is where the our style is present, HTML, CSS. The whole tsx files are converted into this single HTML, so we have to give this as the root object. So go to the edit, default root object, write index.html, save changes. We have successfully updated the distribution settings. Currently it is deploying, so let's wait. Our distribution is deployed. You can see the last modified, yes. If you can see this, if you are not seeing the deploying, it means your application is deployed. Copy this distributed domain name, go to your browser. As you can see, our application is hosted. You can give this domain to your anyone, can put this domain into your resume. There's one thing we have to change. If I go, or let's say if the recruiter is something fishy and tries to access some error pages, if there's someone curious about, let's say, anything, they will get this ugly error. Rather than seeing this ugly error, we can normally forward it. If the person tries to change the route, simply load them back to the home page. If you can see, inspect network, you can see 403 error we are seeing. We don't want to see this ugly error, this ugly page. To solve this, go to this error pages, create custom error response, select error code, which error what we are seeing, the 403, error caching, enter the error, yeah, yes, customize error response. What's the, enter the path to the custom error response page. Let's see the index.html. That's our the home page. 200 request. It's right. Let me recheck it. We have to put the /index.html. That's our default path. And अगर कोई भी उल्टा सीधा ये राउट पास करने की कोशिश करता है उसको सीधा ये पकड़ा दो, ये ले तेरा index.html, ये ले 200 स्टेटस कोड, खुश रहे. Custom error page. Our page is created. If you try to refresh, as you can see, it is forwarded to the index.html page. Try something else. So that's the thing. Now one thing we have to create this invalidations. What does invalidate means? कि कोई भी कैश ना रहे. If I put anything, as you can see, मैं आपको डेमो दे के दिखाता हूँ, रुको एक सेकेंड. If I remove this error page, this is for 403. There are multiple error codes can generate. If I delete this error page, it will take some time. Error page is deleted. If I try to, as you can see, access is denied. And if I create an error page, I hope I can get what I want. Then I can tell you what's the problem. Created the custom error. Our error is created, error page. If I try to reload the same thing, I am hoping that I will get this access denied. I don't know why it's not working, but by using the invalidation we can remove the caches. I am giving the path this. Every request come to this, remove the cache, and every time the user refreshes, the CDN requests the page from the S3 and give it to the user. So we are removing the cache. Our invalidation is created. Now our resume has deployed. There's one thing we have to do. Come to your distribution. The domain name is not correct. It is secure. As you can see, if you write the HTTPS, it is secured. But this is not correct. How can a recruiter sees what is this URL? रिक्रूटर खुद सोच में पड़ जाएगा, अरे ये कोई लिंक तो नहीं है मेरे अकाउंट से पैसे कट जाए. So your domain name should have give info about your application, like portfolio, your application name, like to do app. To add a domain, go to your distribution, click on add domain. What domain you want to serve? Portfolio yt.rsxdev.co.in. I already have this domain. Next, you have to create a certificate. Go to this create certificate in ACM. Go to next, fully qualified domain name like portfolio yt.rsxdev.co.in. Everything is default. Request certificate is requested. It will give some values. It is status is pending validation. How can this sure कि ये आपका ये जो है कहाँ है, ये portfolio .rsx.dev.co.in ये आपका ही है कि नहीं. So it wants a validation. It expects a validation from you. It will check. We put this record into our domain, then this ACM will hit the request on our domain name and will validate whether it's owned by us or not. Go to your domain provider, go to the DNS, add new record, it says create a record of type CNAME. Let me check my audio. Paste this name. Remove this RSX because it will automatically add this domain. So we don't have to specify here, वरना वो 2 बार लगा देगा इसी डोमेन को एक के बाद एक. And the values just copy paste. Copy paste. यही है ना वैल्यू. Just create a record. And it will take some time, a very nice time. So let's pause. Our certificate is issued. कौन सा वाला है, यही वाला है ना. Yes, success. Now the status is success. As you can see, go to your distribution, add your domain name again, portfolio t.rsxdev.co.in. Next, there is available certificate. Click on the certificate that we have made already. Click on next, review changes, add domains. Now our domain name is added to this distribution. So if I try to hit this, you will get server not found. Why? Because we have created a domain name, but we have not added that this domain name will forward to this domain. We have not added this. So go to your Domain name provider, click on DNS, add new record, type name CN, add portfolio YT as the name you have added in your distribution. The value is this, your CloudFront URL. Click save. Your DNS record has been added, this portfolio IT. Now if I reload this after some time, copy this private window, let's wait for some time. As you can see, my portfolio is deployed with the correct domain name portfolio.yt and with the certificate that is provided by Amazon. Country is US. Validity is, expiry date is 30th October. So that's how you deploy a front end or use case like portfolio. Make sure your front end as seamless as this. How fast is this? And it cached, that's why it's fast. Now every other browser requests this, it will get the cached version of this. So that's for the video. In the next video we will see if we changes in this code, like if I want to change my name, currently it is XYZ, it will automatically, this builds, go to the S3, upload the contents out there, the invalidates the CloudFront caches, and we will achieve this by using the CI/CD pipelines, using GitHub Actions that we'll see tomorrow. We have already worked with the CI/CD using GitHub Actions, so we will go fast. So that's it for the video. Thank you.